Thanks, Mick. And yes, this season series of 5 games will be completed by December 13th, if you can believe it. 24 hours later, we've got different goaltenders brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It's Jonathan Bernier, who was the backup the previous 3 games to James Reimer. Bernier lost his first 2 starts of the season. And former Leaf Jonas Gustafsson gets his first start for Detroit. He was a big reason the Wings kept their playoff run alive last season. Well, there's Henrik Zetterberg off a 4-assist night, and 3 of his 4 assists were primary assists, meaning the main one to set up the goal. What a night he had. And Gus Nyquist had himself another beauty as well. 4 goals on the season, a 4-game goal streak, the most to start the year since Sergei Fedorov and Thomas Holmstrom. He's matched his mark, trying to match Fedorov's of 5 as it goes down the ice. And the face-off will come back into the Maple Leaf zone as we give you a look at a little tweak here with Johan Franzen out next to the Red Wing lines tonight.
Here you see Stephen Weiss on the left side with Helm and Nestrasil, and Nyquist with Abdelkader on the right side. Last night, after Franzen went down in the 3rd period, Abdelkader filled in nicely and scored himself a beautiful goal. And what a setup by Mr. Nyquist, Mr. Nyquist.
And the Red Wings were very good on the face-off last night. 59% on draws they were. Abdelkader comes in to take it against Bozak, who will win that one. And that was the problem last Wednesday night here. The Red Wings were chasing the puck a lot of the night. Kessel sent one through to Bozak, but the play would have been offside, but Zetterberg got his stick in there nonetheless. And the face-off will come outside the Red Wing zone. And what a night for the top line, and Abdelkader part of that, Mick, as you spoke of with Johan Franzen, leaving midway through period 2.
Yeah, they dominated every time they were on the ice, for sure. And Zetterberg with those big 4 assists nicely set up Franzen's first 2 goals to give the Red Wings that jump start, and then Nyquist later. And he had a secondary assist on the Abdelkader goal.
Cody Franzen stepped up. He's on defense with Dion Phaneuf. They had a tough night last night and yet another offside. And it was interesting that Randy Carlyle, the Maple Leafs head coach, lamenting the fact how many times in the first period his team went offside. They had too many turnovers, he said, 11 in the first period. 4 times on clear breaks they went offside. Mentally, we just weren't in the game, and the Red Wings had it all the way all night, he said.
That would have been fair. I mean, the Red Wings had a lot to do with the Leafs looking less than average, for sure. But Toronto didn't have good body language, Ken. They just, they weren't into it like they should have been, and this will not be an icing.
No, because Winnick got in there first. He blocked a shot last night. Some were wondering whether number 26 for Toronto go. There's a neutral zone turnover, and right in that Bernier stop. And he's looking to find his game as Bernier is some mixing up for the goaltender.
This is a designed activity. Lupul, who's a big tough kid, going after one of the Slovaks. Who is it? Nestrasil?
Oh, it's Sheahan.
Oh, Sheahan. Okay. Well, Sheahan's a big enough boy to take care of himself. Lupul likes to mix it up. He's a big disturber and a good hockey player to boot. But Sheahan will be ready for that. As I was mentioning, Ken, in our open, as you see this thing take place after the whistle, I mean, it's just, that's a design play. Let's get everybody shook up. These kids are buzzing around. We don't like it. But when you come to the rink in the NHL, when you're a young player like the 2 Slovaks and Sheahan, you got to be prepared to play this game out of your head. It's not physical. We all got to bed probably around 3 o'clock this morning. However, they're young kids. They're in great shape. It's a mental preparation to come here when they drop the puck, baby. Let's go. This is what we do.
Toronto's got Phaneuf on defense, along with his partner Cody Franzen, and Mike Babcock immediately changes and comes right back with Zetterberg and Nyquist and Abdelkader again. Franzen and Phaneuf had a very tough night last night for Toronto, and not necessarily quick of foot.
And Franzen, Phaneuf almost tried to take Abdelkader's head off. Don't forget that last night.
Abdelkader sent one in that Bernier will hold on to. Now, Jonathan Bernier, it looks as though, you know, it's 1 and 1A as they spoke of. Bernier lost the first 2 outings of the season, and Randy Carlyle wasn't saying who his number 1 netminder is. Bernier's got a young child at home, a newborn. He's said he was tired in the past, but no excuses now. He's got to play and earn his job to keep it. And Reimer last night was in for the loss, his first and 3.
And he did not look real good last night. The 3rd goal, the one by Nyquist, I think was very stoppable. even the second goal by Franz, and he overplayed Zetterberg and left the net wide open. So, if it's your goaltender, you're wanting him to make that save, or those saves.
Riley popped it up back of the goal. Glendening was able to steal that puck. He's out along with Joachim Anderson and Drew Miller. Glendening had a nice, strong game last night. Another shot in on Bernier. Good pressure here from Detroit. Early on, another face-off in the Toronto zone.
Well, that's your fourth line, and whenever they can spend that kind of time in the offensive zone, you got to like it if you're Mike Babcock. And both these teams understand, even though it's games 5 and 6 into the season, it's a big weekend because Detroit can get, with a win tonight, could be 7 out of their first 10 points. And that's, when we looked at that 10 games, 20 points, boy, that's a great start for them. Outside of the game against Boston the other night, they've played very well in 3 of their 4 games.
We know what happened in the Anaheim game, failing to get a point on the non-call on Getzlaf on Kronwall late, and Anaheim wins it and didn't even go to extra time. So Nyquist, Abdelkader, Zetterberg, with Kronwall and Eriksson in behind. They finished the game together last night, did not start the game together. Good pressure there by Nyquist, forced the turnover. Zetterberg goes to get it in there against Jake Gardiner. Abdelkader's got it. He went to the front of the goal. The crowd's into this game. Plenty of Leaf fans here. We had the trek in from Southern Ontario, crossing the border. Bozak goes rink wide, finds Van Riemsdyk. Bozak over there to get it. In front, tipped by Van Riemsdyk. Cody Franson, front of the goal, taken by Nyquist. Red Wings want to get a change here. Nyquist will gain center and shoot it in. Zetterberg follows up. Tapped ahead by Kessel, given away to DeKeyser. Looked at front, Zetterberg was shot and just whistled that one off target. Turning back to get it goes Quincy. Kessel chasing him. A little tap back pass there. And in turn Tatar gives him the puck back. Stretch pass ahead to Yurko. Sure was. Riley bumped him, no call. Riley on defense with Roman Polak. Came loose in front, comes back to the line for DeKeyser. Quincy took the shot, and Bernier able to see that and hold on to it.
The Red Wing bench is hollering for it's borderline interference. He dumps the puck in, and then the play is made on the block, and we've seen this called so many times right here. Now it's almost 1, 2, 3 seconds. That's called 9 out of 10 times for sure, and the referee's standing right there looking at it, and you can bet that the Red Wing bench is saying, you owe us one, guy.
Morgan Riley, their good young defenseman, number 44, their first-round pick, Stuart Percy, who had played quite a bit, is a healthy scratch tonight.
Robidoux back in,
yes,
the veteran, so you're looking for that kind of support. Coming off a bad night, you're going on the road where we used to say it's enemy territory. I don't think that exists today like it used to, because these buildings are outside of the Joe and a few others, like the Coliseum in Nassau, they're all the same.
Brought in by the goal scorer for Toronto last night, Santorelli. A quick shot. Gustafson came out and off the side of the post. Kindle's got it. A hit for Helm. Lost it at the line, but it's offside.
Gee.
Santorelli got it outside the line. Clarkson was trapped inside.
Boy, that was close. And Santorelli had the only goal last night. That Clarkson line went up against Zetterberg right off the opening faceoff, and boy, they ate him up last night. Was this really offside?
It was.
I didn't think it was.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Sure
there
was.
you go. Good call. Yep. Close call, but a good one.
Santorelli, they got from Vancouver. He was injured the final 23 games while a Canuck last year, but in 49 games he played, he had 28 points and got his first goal, as Mick said, as a Leaf.
Well, that game could have gone differently last night if they had followed that up. It was in the first 40 seconds of the third period. Now you got a 2-shot game, but fortunately, the Red Wings came back with that goal by Abdelkader, and that took the sting out of Toronto from that point on. Oh, look at that play up the middle.
Zetterberg right back out with Abdelkader and Nyquist.
Mike Babcock told me tonight, I said, are you going to match him up specifically against anybody? He said, no, I'm going to play him as much as they want to play.
Well, so far, I guess they want to play because they've been out every other shift here already. Abdelkader pushed the puck ahead. Grabbed into the high slot for Dion Phaneuf. Phaneuf walks to the goal. And Nyquist coming back. Made a good defensive play. Abdelkader was hooked by Winnick. Cleared off the glass. And Nazem Kadri getting it ahead for Winnick. Gustafson fought it off. Well, the rebound went right to Winnick again. Came back to the line and a shot, but Gustafson pushed aside from Roman Polak. Ben Riley put one in off the side of the goal. The defenseman stayed with it. Eriksson moved it. Kronwall And up through the center come the Red Wings to Glendening on the wing to Miller. Miller waits, shoots, deflected, and off to the far side. James Van Riemsdyk. Kessel flying after that puck. Whacked to Kaiser in the back of the leg, and he didn't like that. And
Got his attention. Got his attention, didn't he? Well, Gus Nyquist is, as we know, an offensive juggernaut. He has been since last year, but he comes back here and makes a good effort to screw up the play by Phaneuf going to the net. It's the effort you're looking for right there.
Nyquist with 4 goals on 11 shots this season, 36.4 shooting percentage.
That's crazy.
His percentage then last season was over 18, which was also crazy. He's not going to keep up this pace, but pretty darn good. Remember last season after he came up and Gus Nyquist missed the first 6 weeks because of the numbers game, as we've spoken of. They wanted him to shoot more. Well, I think the message has been received.
For sure. He's got really, really good thought processes around the net offensively. Very patient. Saw that against the Boston Bruins and Tuukka Rask. Anaheim.
Tyler Bozak and Riley Sheahan on the drop. Sheahan won it. Eriksson off the glass. Now Jurko with it. Jurko couldn't finish to get around Gardner. Tried to get it back to Tatar, but Kessel took it away to Van Riemsdyk. James Van Riemsdyk shooting it in. 97 career goals for him. Kessel with it. For Gardner, to Van Riemsdyk. Took to Bozak. He was checked quickly, though. And Sheahan was right on top of him.
Well, that's probably your matchup there. If Mike Babcock can get it, he wants Eriksson and Kronwall against the Kessel-Van Riemsdyk line.
Well, the Go Leafs Go we're hearing tonight, and let's go Red Wings. The Go Leafs Go is louder than it was last night at the Air Canada Centre.
Honest to God.
Pass ahead to Santorelli. Knocked to the side by Jonas Gustafsson, who began his career in Toronto, brought over to the Maple Leafs by then President and GM Brian Burke.
And this is a big night for him. His first time to play here this year with Jimmy Howard down for a few days and Mrazek up from Grand Rapids, and everybody's got great expectations for Peter Mrazek, boy.
Turned by Stephen Weiss in his first game of the season.
Oh,
And then Smith coming in, but a penalty here.
going to be interference. I don't know if it really was interference or not. The Leaf player went flying, and until we take a look at it, it's caught from the far side.
Detroit, 2 minutes interference.
That's Chris Rooney, the referee, along with Frederic Coulier tonight.
It's an awful call.
Yeah.
That's an awful call. All you got to do in that situation is read body language. He made absolutely no move to pick him off. He stood there, and he was there early, stood his ground. That's a horrible call for that referee to make. I don't care who gets it.
So the Maple Leafs, who were 0 for 2 on the power play against Detroit last night, Gardner kept it in. 8th in the NHL is the Toronto power play to start the season. Red Wing penalty killing has been outstanding this year. Tony Granado's got his group really aggressive. Gardner shoots one, knocked down. Gustafsson with the save, and he'll gather in the rebound.
Clarkson with that big plastic mask, and it's Glendening doing his disruptive thing verbally.
What a story he is.
Oh, he's a major league SD, big time. He's chirping all the time. He gets guys so peeved off, it's ridiculous. They just want to kill him. Look at him take a whack at Kadri. And I mean, lots of times that's called a penalty.
I mean, to think how Luke Glendening was a walk-on at Michigan. In his final year, a captain for Red Berenson, had to go to Toledo in the East Coast League. Figured if he was going to play, he had to learn how to play center, learned how to take face-offs. Spiros Anastas really helped him out a lot. And the Grand Rapids guys and Toledo guys, and he's made his way here to the National Hockey League.
He knows he's very good at what he does, but he knows his repertoire has to get bigger, and he's got to learn to finish and score some goals to stay in this league. He admitted that coming into the season.
He scored one, but boy, he's had some chances.
He sure has. That's offside.
I think you should spend some time with him there.
There you go. A little late shot, but Phaneuf and Eriksson goes after him. they go. And nobody likes it, of course, around here.
This is what the Toronto-Detroit rivalry is all
Really?
about.
Yeah. Well, anytime anybody shoots the puck after the whistle like that. I just noticed this guy sitting in front of us. He's got a FNUF jersey on, the old blue leaf, and he's got some kind of a painted mask on his face. Oh, it's good stuff. Original 6, and Erickson says, "Come on, Dion, that's unsportsmanlike. Get out of here." Now, what are you going to get? 2 penalties?
Toronto number 3, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. 52, Detroit, 2 minutes roughing.
There you go. Unsportsmanlike for shooting the puck at the goalie, and Erickson for roughing. Now, there's a rule that I think should change in the NHL. Back to the way it used to be. This should be a 4-on-3. And they made that change because the Edmonton Oilers were so good at taking guys off the ice when there was a power play going on, and it ended up the Oilers could score, and they made the change. But if they want more goals in this game, let it happen. If they're that smart to do it, or if you're that not smart to get involved, then so be it. You pay the price.
Stays a 5-on-4 manpower advantage for Toronto. Van Riemsdyk dropped back off Kessel's stick. Grabbed by Miller. Glendening goes after the puck to force the issue. Coming back to get it, though, is the speedy Kessel. Into the middle and knocked away, but not out. Kronwall hit Bozak on the attempt to clear, then intercepted by Brendan Smith. The Toronto native, and down the ice it goes.
You know, Phil Kessel wants to have a good night just for the sake of having a good night in his team. He not necessarily was his fault last night, but he didn't get anything done. He had a couple of chances early in the game. Shots were blocked, didn't get through.
Between Kessel and Van Riemsdyk, Abdelkader went to the front of the net. Good save, good play there by Anderson. Between Kessel and Van Riemsdyk, though, last night, Mick, they only had 4 shots on goal.
Right.
Plays just onside. Here come the Leafs. Gustafsson out to cut it off with 7 seconds left in the Nestersill penalty.
Boy, that had to be played nicely, or you got a wide open net as Gustafsson really played the passer. And you got to have confidence that that checker is going to be taken in front of the net. Oh, my gosh. Here's the Detroit chance here. Abdelkader in so tight he couldn't really get it up high. And the other way, watch this play coming right down the middle. It's Quincy. And then it's Abdelkader here making the check there. That pass gets through. That puck's in the back of the net.
We'll have to put some time back on the clock here as the clock was running while the faceoff wasn't dropped early. There's Steve Spott, an assistant coach, talking to Nazem Kadri. He's the uncle of the Red Wings, Stephen Weiss. Long time ago in Plymouth days, and maybe Stephen would love to show something here more to his coach, Mike Babcock, than Uncle Stephen. Yep. However, he's got the opportunity to do it tonight in his first game, and it'll be just his 27th Red Wing game. Steve Spott was coaching the Toronto Marlies in the American Hockey League, but Randy Carlyle got a coaching extension, but his assistants were changed. And Spott came up to the American Hockey League. So out of the box is Nestersill. The Red Wings return to full strength. A broken stick for Quincy. Nestersill carries into the Toronto zone. And a penalty coming here to the Leafs.
They're going to call interference this time. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll come back to the Red Wing power play. We're about halfway through period number 1. Carlyle and Babcock are scoreless.
Well, when Brandon Kozun was hurt last night in Toronto, Matt Fratton comes into the lineup tonight. They wanted to play with speed and be physical, but Randy Carlyle won't be happy with penalties. He's playing his second game of the season.
Well, this one went a little over the top. He did reach in there and grab a hold of Nestersill. But yeah, Carlyle wants him to be physical, but not quite like that.
Second tour of duty with the Maple Leafs. He was traded for Jonathan Bernier, then went to Columbus, and then reacquired for Jerry D'Amigo by the Maple Leafs.
Interesting look on this power play. Keep an eye on it. Stephen Weiss back at the left point with Kronwall on the right point in the Zetterberg line.
And Weiss has it here. Kronwall didn't get what he wanted on it. Leo Komarov, number 47 for Toronto, brings it in. Up with Daniel Winnick on their penalty kill. Bell Tire power play in effect here for Detroit. Their first of the game. 2 for 16 on the season. 0 for 5 last night. Nyquist has both power play goals for the Red Wings. pocket pick there of Robidoux. Good move in down low by Roman Polak. Nyquist to Henrik Zetterberg. Weaving his way in. Got it again. Just out of Helm's reach. Robidoux looks to clear.
I think it tipped off.
Oh, deflected. The face-off will come outside. There's a look at Stephen Weiss, and we feature him as our local Toyota dealers brings you his scouting report. His first game since December 10th of a year ago, and now his 13th season. Still the Panthers' all-time leader in games and assists, and he'd like to get his games up here in Detroit. It's been a rough couple of years with all the injuries and the 2 surgeries last year and the hernia, and hopefully he can get going. The Franzen injury allowed him time to get into the lineup tonight. Nestrasil moved it in. Sheahan tried to feed it back. For Yurko. 55 seconds left on the man advantage for Detroit. Tatar. Yurko took the shot. It got blocked. Swings one back for DeKeyser. Looks to Tatar, and he has it top of the circle in front on a tip by Nestrasil. Tatar again, backhand to forehand.
Ooh, look out.
Tough play there by Nestrasil in a bad spot. It was knocked away before DeKeyser could get it. Back in come the Red Wings. Nestrasil again, open with Sheahan. Slows down now. DeKeyser settled it. Nestrasil hooks in down low and was attempting to go Tatar's way, a bouncing puck. Van Riemsdyk bumping him. Puck squirts free. Nestrasil stayed with it. And open to Kaiser. To the middle. Sheahan couldn't shoot it. Had it blocked. Tried to stay with it. Good play by Peter Hall. Knocked out of the air by DeKeyser. Held in. Nestrasil. Tatar. Shooting one. Bernier stopped that. Back in front again. Nestrasil one more time. Back at full strength is Toronto. That went off a leg. Holland gets it out the center. Brought back in by Fratton, and Gustafsson got a piece of that. They're yelling, they're changing, and they're holding on.
Another good shift, though, by the young line. 15, 21, and 26. Boy, they just aren't getting rewarded on the power play, but they've had lots of good looks.
Tip through as Miller goes after it. Glendening on Riley. Second man in Anderson. He's got that puck, won the battle. Glendening escapes Gardner. Looks to the slot. Came back to the line for Quincy. Safe play indeed. Anderson again, a wraparound try. That hit that errant stick, but Eriksson kept it in. For Anderson. Glendening hustled in. Took Gardner out. Miller gets the puck. Great pressure, Detroit. They gave Toronto's defense very little time last night, and so far tonight doing the same thing. Kessel breaks away. He's past Quincy with some room. Played it across. Good back check there by Glendening on Lupo. And a penalty upcoming.
Look at this. He did it again.
It'll be to Toronto.
Yeah, it's Kessel. Glendening roughed up Lupo on the 2-on-1. He came back-to-back check. We'll look at that. And look at him chirping. Come on, you guys. I'll give you all you want over here at the Joe. Way to go, kid. He came back and busted up the 2-on-1. Roughed up Lupo. Kessel didn't like it. Bingo. Power play. We'll be back.
Well, Peter Mrazek gets an NHL salary for a little bit. Called up from Grand Rapids to back up Jonas Gustafsson tonight. Our Hansen's report card has Jimmy Howard on 48-hour goalie injured reserve. Could be available as of Tuesday when the Red Wings are in Montreal. Each team in the NHL can do that 2 times with a netminder, so the Red Wings hoping Jimmy Howard isn't out any longer than that.
Fans are wondering, how does that work? Well, how it works is if you're on a 2-way contract, meaning you have a different salary that the American League as opposed to the NHL, it's prorated per day. How much you make based on your salary the days you spend in that league. If you get the same salary for both, of course it doesn't make any difference.
Carried back in. Nice move by Winnick. Red Wings are on a bell tire power play with Kessel in the box. Both teams with their second, or the Red Wings with their second man advantage. Nyquist. Tipped by Zetterberg for Weiss. Played it back. Nyquist had a hustle over, got some help there from Kronwall. Came free to Nyquist. 3 down low. Nyquist for Weiss, and he just missed it. Remember what a big goal Weiss had in his first as a Red Wing was an overtime winner in Carolina. Backhanded and a save made by Gustafsson. Stephen Weiss. Imagine he's got some nerves tonight. Zetterberg left it there. Nyquist had no lane, turns back. Point shot to Kaiser, saved by Bernier.
Boy, that thing came back off him like a rocket, off the goalie, that is. Look at this.
They pass the beauty into Van Riemsdyk, saved by Gustafsson. Too good of a chance, shorthanded there.
Line change, that's a bad one. And they almost got burnt.
The Kaiser to settle things down here with just over a half minute left in the Kessel penalty. Under 7 to go in the opening period. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Detroit. Riley Sheahan. Winnick for Toronto. Got it to Leo Komarov. 15 left in the power play. Nestrasil wired around. Bernier slowed it down. Pollock tied up by Sheahan. Came free to Nestrasil. Flipping one back for Quincy. Quincy to the net, and a save by Bernier as Kessel's out of the box as Toronto returns to full strength.
Boy, Van Riemsdyk is not going to miss too many opportunities like this, and it's a shorthanded one to boot. And Detroit just made an ill-advised line change here, and it's Nyquist heading off. You see, he thinks no problem. Puck's down here, nothing. But look where Van Riemsdyk is. Holy smoke. He's in behind the defense, and then a mad dash to try to catch him. And he shot the puck early because he felt those footsteps coming on him. It was De Kaiser. And off the bench was Nestrasil with good speed to force him to shoot maybe a hair earlier than he might have wanted to. Good save by Gustafsson.
With a face-off on the left side, Anderson will take it to try and draw it back. He's the lefty, Glendening a righty. Saved by Bernier. And the puck is up and out of play. This is a very busy weekend where this weekend here in Detroit, Mick, Hockeytown has the moniker for sure. There's 24 rinks being used, 350 teams. It's the Warrior Invitational Hockey Tournament. Tourney's going on all over Metro Detroit. The Little Caesars O2 team is playing in the quarterfinals at Troy Sports Center tonight. Featured prominently in that game, Keenan Draper, son of Chris, who's at the game here tonight. I think he's got some split allegiances, Mr. Draper, tonight, but big weekend for hockey all over Metro Detroit. It is Hockeytown for sure this weekend.
Yes, it is. It's good stuff.
You wanted to get ice this weekend. You couldn't find any anywhere. The beer leagues may be on hold for a little bit.
No kidding. But most of them are midweek anyway.
Yeah.
Unless they're looking to shake off the cobwebs on Sunday morning.
True.
It's Saturday night at Port Huron somewhere.
Down into the Red Wing zone. Gustafsson left it for Brendan Smith. Zetterberg's got it.
And a penalty. Toronto again.
Zetterberg into the Leaf zone. Riley knocked it away. And the play is called. So the Leafs will be shorthanded again, and they took too many penalties last night. Red Wings didn't click on the power play last night, but Toronto giving Detroit chances to do so. The power play in Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Thanks, Mickey. Well, Nazem Kadri, we talked about him in the open. You got to control yourself. That's a good hit, although he left his feet. But look at the elbow and the gloves up in the face of Brendan Smith, right in front of the referee. And Detroit really needs to take advantage of these power plays because the Leafs are going to have theirs. They got 2 last night. Not many in a home game.
Sometimes you can jump in on the face-off here. They're trying to create more offense because the hash marks are now 5'7" apart. See where the players are lined up outside the circle? A little bit more room.
What we got
The
here?
hash marks used to be 3 feet apart, and now they're 5'7". So can you jump on that loose puck? They're getting away from the jostling off the draw. Space between players now, as you can see. So some more battles can be won off face-offs, perhaps.
Look at the personnel that Babcock's got on the ice. Sheahan, Tatar, and Zetterberg. Wow.
Well, they'll use Shane as a
Nyquist
body in front of that net.
Nyquist on the ice, but back at the point. Wow. That's a new look without Franzen out there.
Zetterberg brings it through. Into the slot. Tatar the shot. Saved by Bernier.
Wow. What a great chance for Tatar.
Kronwall. For Zetterberg. For Nyquist. Scooting in. Can you get a step on Phaneuf? In around the net. Holds on to it. Kronwall is shot. Deflected and wide. Sheahan tied up 2 Leafs, and now there's a penalty coming.
Yeah.
To Detroit.
No question, that's an easy call to make. Loose puck
was dumped.
Loose puck was going to Toronto, and Riley Sheahan reached into the back door and
15 Detroit, 2 minutes holding.
makes it a 4-on-4 game. Good position. He grabbed a hold of his left hip, right hip rather. And look at this chance by Tatar. Talked to him tonight. He was out playing soccer by himself, fiddling around with the soccer ball right before they came on it to warm up, and said, a little better luck around the net. Keep going. It'll go for you. Lots of chances.
48 points, 25 goals, and 104 career games for Tatar. 19 last season, second to Gus Nyquist, 28.
For a small guy, boy, he's really, really competitive. You know, he reminds me a lot of, what the heck was it? I'm trying to remember now. Went to end up with Calgary. Yuri Hoodler, his compete level.
Helm with Nestrasil. Late man is Smith. He's got it. He shoots it off the leg. He had a similar chance last night at the Air Canada Center.
I think he tried to pass that puck, Ken.
Plenty of time, and Bernier saw that to Kaiser shot clearly.
You know what he said to me last night getting on the bus? He said, I don't think I'll see another chance like that for 20 games. Well, he just got it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I think he tried to pass the puck instead of shooting it. You got to get some confidence in him. Watch this. Yeah, he's trying to pass it over to Nestrasil. Oh, baby. That's a great A scoring chance. And he just didn't feel like he wanted to go to the net with it. Thought he'd make a perfect play to number 49, and it hit a skate.
You know, his family is from Mimico, the suburb of Toronto. Saw him last night, making the trip here tonight. Abdelkader and Joachim Anderson, Kindle, and de Kaiser. Phaneuf lugged at the center, the Toronto captain, for Cody Franzen, who was injured in the preseason, a left knee injury. Started a little late, missed the first few games. Abdelkader in. Franzen forced him wide. Boy, and the Red Wings did such a good job last night in Toronto of keeping the Leafs to the outside, too. They forced everything wide. Didn't give them much of an opportunity. A reminder not to miss the action when the Wings take on Pittsburgh next Thursday, October 23rd. It's Hockey Fights Cancer Night. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 right now. Ticket executives are standing by.
For quite a month already, and we've got Montreal on Tuesday here on Fox. 7:30 game time. Pittsburgh Penguins here next Thursday night, and in Philadelphia Saturday night.
Are you joining us in Montreal?
I am.
Your old stomping ground?
I am.
Okay.
Yes. Can't wait.
Patrick was in there tonight with his Avalanche.
Isn't that interesting?
Back there again. Gardner to the middle. Phaneuf at the point. Shot over top of the goal. Power play for the Leafs. Kessel across. Gardner hopped on him. Jake Gardner put it through. Van Riemsdyk missed that breakaway earlier for Phil Kessel. Bozak in the slot. Phaneuf at the point.
It's Gardner.
Bozak off the skate. Kessel hopped on it. Toe save made there by Gustafsson. Kessel fanned on it. Miller will bank one off the boards and down as the penalty is over to Sheahan. 0 for 2 with 2 shots as Toronto on the power play. Luka ahead to Nazem Kadri. A wicked shot, just missing the outstretched glove and the net of Gustafsson. Zetterberg was tied up. Nyquist trying to bust free. 6 points in 5 career games against Toronto for Gus Nyquist. Abdelkader just missed a big hit on Kadri at center.
It was attention, didn't it?
Quincy. He collided with Polak, but he got the puck deep. Morgan Riley. Kadri's attempt was knocked down, just slapped away to center, and the Red Wings will regain control. Jakob Kindl. Ahead for Stephen Weiss. Natural center, but playing the wing on a line with Helm and Nestrasil. Nestrasil has it. Put it through to Helm. Weaving, bobbing in the corner. Helm. Now in front. Nestrasil. Point shot. Saved by Bernier off Kindl. Toronto fans saluting their netminder. The Red Wings have their 13th shot on goal.
Yeah, and it was good footwork by Darren Helm that really set that up. And Detroit getting some really good looks at the net, and Bernier equal to the task on every one of them so far. Nestrasil didn't have much chance to do anything with that, as Morgan Riley made a nice defensive play to nullify him. He got it, that one, but this one, no. No penalty on the play even on that. So Kindl didn't get that where he wanted to. He wanted to go up short side high.
Andre Nestrasil, who would require waivers to go back to Grand Rapids, and he's still a Red Wing, what with the Datsuk injury, and Pavel could be back as early as Tuesday in Montreal or later in the week, but he's skating and getting closer.
Ready to go.
And then decisions. No decision about getting him back, though, as soon as you can.
Yeah. Well, you don't make up for a 20-minute-a-night guy that's got the talent like he does. One-on-one. Pavel Datsuk may be the most elusive player in the NHL.
And Brendan Shanahan, who joined us off the top of the show live here tonight. Remember, he said a year ago when he was visiting here at the Joe, he said, most exciting player and the best player in the league, Pavel Datsuk, in his opinion. Now with the Leaf organization, maybe he can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Stefan Robidas. Ahead for David Clarkson. Many similarities between Clarkson and Weiss, two players who got big contracts who need good years after stumbling the first season, although for Weiss it was more injury-laden than it was for David Clarkson. And our flag star, bank star watch, Gus Nyquist since January 20th, and with 4 goals to start the year this year, 27 goals since that time, even more than the other great scorers around the league thus far.
All he does is go about his business, smile a lot, doesn't talk a whole lot.
Santorelli flipped it through. He's got that good speed. Kronwall trying to get back. Santorelli in. Great save by a sliding Gustafsson. Left pad down, and Santorelli couldn't lift it over.
Boy, that could have been deadly with just seconds left in the first period. And the big man they call the monster goes for a skate. If Santorelli got bugged by Kronwall just enough that he has to go to his forehand and doesn't get the puck up. Nice move there. So much easier to go to your backhand and get the puck up than it is to your forehand because you're going to the net, not away from it.
Canuck will grab it off the draw. Less than a half minute to go in the opening period. Shots 13-11 in favor of the Red Wings. Tip just over top of the goal. Miller safely off the glass, knowing time was winding down, but the puck went into the Toronto bench. Now the unfortunate part of that is that Drew did the right thing. He cleared it off the glass to get out, but from where he shot it, it means the faceoff will come back deep in the Red Wing zone. It just took a bad, fortuitous bounce for the Leafs and not for Detroit. It went into their bench. The faceoff was all the way back. So now they have to win another draw.
Sometimes the breaks just don't go your way. You had lots of time, for sure.
But a good face-off win there by Glendenning. Quincy was hit hard. Winnick up high. Took the shot. Gustafson had to make the save. Miller played it along the boards, and the first period will come to a close. No goals in the first. The edging shots by one to the home team, and Gustafson with some good saves. Bernier as well. Justin Applicator will guest with John Keating in our Ram Intermission Report, and a strong start from Gustafson in goal. And it's Darren, Chris, and Mickey York in our studio, guys.
Back to Joe Louis Arena, nothing after 20 minutes of play. And on this day in Red Wing history in 1944, number 7, Ted Lindsay, signed as a free agent. I wonder what that meant in those days and how few dollars it meant. Jacques Plante, the goalie, right there. Gordie Howe, Ted Lindsay in front with Doug Harvey. Holy mackerel. Bob Goldham. There's Lindsay with Clarence Campbell, the former president of the league. Look at these pictures and faces of the Canadians. Dickie Moore in there as well. And Ted and Joanne Lindsay here tonight, signing his book number 7. Ted is 89 years old, works out 3 days a week up in Troy, doing great. And he and Joanne are big proponents and supporters of autism. And several fundraisers throughout the year. And people don't forget Mr. Lindsay. And remember the shotgun in Toronto, I think it was.
Yeah.
They had threatened his life. And he said, come at it. Bring me all you got.
And speaking of Ted Lindsay, let's bring in Henrik Zetterberg. Look how close he is to 8th spot in all-time points for the Red Wings.
And that was our AT&T U-verse reverse look back to 1944. Mr. Lindsay, way to go, Teddy boy.
Second period underway. 25 shots on goal in the first period between the two teams. Miller got nudged to the boards. There were just 12 shots on goal in the first period last night of that game in Toronto. So big difference this evening. A little more wide open. I don't know if the coaches will like that as much.
Well, just like Boston and Detroit here last 4 days ago, the Red Wings got outshot badly in their own building. The Leafs the same last night. So turnabout's fair play, but as good as Detroit was last night, they expect the Leafs to be good after their last night. So
nice feed, Abdelkader on to Gus Nyquist. Took a shot, it got blocked. Kessel. Rink wide, good pass. Bozak. Forced wide there by Abdelkader. The line to Phaneuf, now to Cody Franzen. Tipped on the way to the net by Zetterberg. Quincy. Too far for Zetterberg on the far wall, and then Franzen's shot went over top of the net.
He's got a good one. He had 7 shots on goal the other night in Toronto's 3-2 win over Colorado.
That's up high off the glass and into the first row of seats here at Joe Louis Arena. So look at Cody Franzen, who missed part of the early season. Former Nashville Predator defenseman, and he's been very good. And a steadying influence back there. Some thought whether they could re-sign him.
Yeah, it hasn't been a smooth career for Cody Franzen so far. There's always been question marks up there. I'm not sure why. 6'5", he's got a really good shot. But hope for him, he could settle in on that Leaf defense, and this will not be a nice one.
Brendan Smith taken to the boards. And Helm, good job defensively. Santorelli moved it, then inadvertently got it right back as Stephen Weiss sent it his way. Gustafson out to play it.
He's really active behind that net, eh?
Yes. And Mrazek, who's backing up tonight, is terrific puck-handling goaltender. Leo Komarov. To Santorelli. This third line's been good the last few games. And probably their best line last night against Detroit in a 4-1 Red Wing win. Santorelli knocked down to the ice as Helm had him in sights. Helm had Santorelli tied up again, and Andre Nestrasel will carry ahead. Weiss will go in after it. On Stefan Robidas, former Dallas Star defenseman and Anaheim Duck, coming off a couple of broken legs last year. Robidas stepped up at center. He was telling me yesterday when he was a healthy scratch in Toronto after the morning skate, he was just having a tough time with the timing. A veteran player, he just do things instinctively, and now he's just thinking too much and maybe feeling the pressure of being a Leaf and trying to perform. He had thought about coming to Detroit as well, Mick, with Stefan Robidas, but the situation with his family in Quebec was better for him in Toronto. Shot went wide of the goal.
It gets tougher when you get older to process. Oh, jeez.
Penalty coming.
What a collision.
It'll be to Detroit for interference.
Whoa.
Quincy and Kadri.
Wow. I mean, this was a dangerous collision. I'm not sure how much intended interference there was. I think Quincy's looking around going, you got to be kidding me. Holy mackerel. I mean, Danny, the Kaiser had him tied up from the backside.
Well, and it was Quincy last night who got Brandon Cozen, who's out with a high ankle sprain and not in the lineup tonight, as that would look like a really bad injury last night. So it's a Leafs power play here. Off the draw to the far side for Miller. The linesman had to get out of the way of that.
You know he's talking to him. What are you doing?
And you know the bench is giving him heck right now. It's right in front of the Red Wing bench. You can laugh when you're not hit, I guess. Kozak put it in behind the Van Riemsdyk. Back to Cody Franzen. Kronwall couldn't get it, so it came to Kessel. To the line to Phaneuf. To Franzen. To no one in particular as it comes near side again to Kessel. And Riemsdyk in front of the goal. Puck is up high.
He doesn't know where it is.
Sure where it is.
Wow, that's outside.
And came out across the line.
Wow, Red Wings got a break there. Franzen had no idea where the puck was. He completely lost it off a stick. And this was that collision you're talking about, Cozen with Quincy. Pure accidental and holy jump. You know, when I see that replay now, even though we're in slow motion, these guys are going too fast into dangerous areas, and that's why they're getting hurt so much. No slowdown, no pull-up, nothing.
Well, I remember Brendan told us in the opening how fast the game is.
Something's got to give, you know?
Sure does. All outside the trapezoid, so Bernier couldn't play it. Came across the goal line.
Pretty sharp, though. Pretty smart thinking by Bernier. Quick.
Brendan Smith kept it in. For Abdelkader. Looked in front of the net. Anderson heading that way. 45 seconds left in the Quincy penalty as Nazem Kadri. Now in his 5th season already. Smith with a good outlet to Abdelkader and down the ice.
That's the kind of plays that Brendan Smith is making with confidence now and taking his time to make a good play instead of thinking too quickly and making a play that's secondary to that. That's why he's having a much better season than his earlier couple. Confidence.
Power play with 10 seconds left. Kadri to Riley to Gardner. Tip with a stick in the lane. Good job by Miller and Glendening. Penalty is over. But Jake Gardner brings it in. But swept away from him by Luke Glendening.
Boy, this Red Wing power player, this Red Wing penalty kill, been absolutely perfect.
3 for 3 tonight, Mick.
I mean, that can't last forever, but I mean,
15 for 15 on the season.
take it while you got it. That's right.
For sure. Tied with a few others for best in the league at 100%. Tony Granado's changed up things there and done a nice job. Matt Bratton with a shot at the goal post. He hit the left post. The stick side Augustus. Franzen with a quick shot off the outside of the net.
This guy, you see how quickly that guy shoots the puck, and that was a wrist shot. I mean, you shoot it from anywhere.
Leo Komarov sends it in. Kindle knocked it down. Quincy's pass intended for Zetterberg didn't get through. Kindle again circles the goal. Zetterberg got out of the way of the hit. Helm did too. Here comes Zetterberg up along with Nyquist. Finds Kindle. Waits in front. Tipped over. And it's blocked as Nyquist had the chance. Hit a couple of sticks on the way over.
I think Bernier got his blocker on this, baby. You be the ref for the judge on this one. He got his right shoulder on it, and Gus is talking to himself, and you're watching Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by Bell Tire. Little snippet here of Brendan Smith and a penalty kill and the way his confidence has grown. Watch him down on the right side of the screen. He's got David Clarkson right on his back. He looks over his shoulder to read the tea leaves. Boom, avoids the check. Bang, right to an open abducator. Easy clear down the ice. Takes the pressure off. Nice job by Brendan Smith again.
Tatar with Sheahan and Yurko. Smith stepping up on Matt Fratton. Peter Holland. Former Duck at center on this Leafs line. Richard Panik, number 18, came over from Tampa Bay as a free agent, or on waivers. Robidoux around to Gardner. He was pressured immediately. In there to get it is Sheahan, who left it there to Yurko. Back to the line, Kindle. Good job to control. Tatar moved it quickly, but big bounce off that kick play. Too far for Smith. And then that pass missed there, but it won't be icing as Panik will be the first one down for Toronto to get it. Daniel Winnick to the line to Franzen to an open Phaneuf. He's got that great shot. Double pump on it, sent it through. Gustafsson the save on his former teammate. Tatar around Phaneuf, dancing through into the Leaf zone.
Look at him scoot.
He pummeled Winnick in the corner. Andre Nestrasil on it. Trying to fight off Cody Franzen, who knocked him down. Stephen Weiss over the boards for the Red Wings. Just onside is Phaneuf into the glove and out of the glove of Gustafsson, who's had trouble holding it a couple of times.
You're thinking the same thing as I was.
Here comes Nestrasil. 3 Red Wings are up. The pass hit Franzen. Weiss into the corner. Cody Franzen away from Nestrasil with a feed to Nazem Kadri. Kadri around Helm. Leafs setting up with time. And just too far from Morgan Rielly. Kadri against his number 43 counterpart, Helm. Kessel to Kadri to Lupul. A little different shift here in the midst of a change as Kessel's out with these two. Puck out at center as Kadri has to reverse that and go back for Roman Polak, who's acquired from St. Louis for Carl Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson, who'd been hurt for the Blues, moves the puck better, but Polak hits a lot more, and a right-hand shot. And that's deflected up and out of play.
Well, here he comes, Speedy Gonzalez. he's avoiding the landmines of Dion Phaneuf in the center. Pounds Panik in the end, and then watch Nestrasil. Hold it right here, guys. This play, Riley's trying to make this pass over here. Watch Nestrasil, young player, make a really good read. See the guy coming off the bench? He wants to go to him, and Nestrasil says, no, you're not going to do it. And that shuts all of that down. And then they eventually did, and Nestrasil was there again. That's a really nice double read by a rookie in this league, only 5 games in.
Advocator with Zetterberg and Nyquist. Kindle and Smith. This will be icing.
That stuff, Ken, that we just looked at there, that will get the coach's attention a lot quicker than a goal or two from a young hockey player that's responsible on the defensive end of the puck. Boy, oh boy.
And he worked so hard to get where he is. His skating was never good, but as we say, upwards of 20 pounds over the past year and a half. Andre Nestrasil, the native of the Czech Republic, has dropped. He played at 210 last season, down around 195 now. Advocator to the net. Bernier the save. Reaching out to hold on. Well, as a hockey player, you don't know which way it's going to go for you. You can be much heralded in collegiate hockey, and certainly for Gus Nyquist it was. He led the nation in scoring while at the University of Maine. Matt Fratton was pretty good too. He was the WCHA scoring champ and was a Hobey finalist, just like Gus Nyquist was. He led the WCHA in scoring when North Dakota did Matt Fratton, and yet, look at them now. Look at their numbers. Fratton's been traded 3 times. He was a product drafted by Toronto, moved, coming back. Nyquist here. You never know. Hobey finalists.
I've seen it happen. Played with a lot of guys in junior that were just great juniors, but didn't make it to the pros. And other guys that were just more or less average juniors and had what it took to make it in the pros, depending on the organization and the way the game's played.
And both fourth
Hard to figure.
Those two, a year apart.
Hard to figure.
And actually, Fratton's a year older than Gus Nyquist.
Well, some guys mature differently, and obviously Nyquist has been one of them.
Franzen with a shot. And coming out on that, Gus's.
His first goal is going to be huge in this hockey game, boys and girls.
Kessel was slashed, didn't like it. Meantime, Nyquist goes after the puck. He got knocked down to the ice, gets back up, stays with it. Put it in behind for Abdelkader to Zetterberg. Abdelkader comes out front with it, short side, blocked off by Bernier. Zetterberg again. Shields that puck so well. To Kaiser in deep. Goes to Abdelkader. An open Quincy. Off the backboards, knocked away by the paddle of Bernier. Zetterberg again. Puck squirts free. Van Riemsdyk just shovels it back to center. On the move is Kyle Quincy. And just offside was Zetterberg. 15 seconds past the halfway point in this hockey game between these two original Six franchises. Well, Toronto joined the National Hockey League during its inaugural season in 1917 as the Toronto Arenas. That's what they were known as back then. They won the NHL's first ever Stanley Cup, defeating the Pacific Coast Hockey League champs, the Vancouver Millionaires. It's a long storied history. The Red Wings began as Cougars and then as Falcons, and then became the Red Wings. The Arenas withdrew from the NHL due to financial difficulties. The Toronto franchise emerged in 1919-20. New owners, new name, the Toronto St. Patrick's. We were actually hoping to build on the large Irish population to attend home games in Toronto, but only when Conn Smythe bought the team did they change the name to the Maple Leafs. A long tradition between these two ever since. I'm glad they're back as division foes once again. 5 meetings this season between these two. Gustafsson knocks that away. This is the second. They'll meet 3 more times between mid-December. Once more here and 2 more in Toronto. Kadri turns in his own zone. Riley. Gustafsson knocked it aside. Luca. He was checked. Left there for Jake Gardner. Playing in his second consecutive game after being a healthy stretch. Offside is Lupo.
Red Wings cut a break.
Now we gave you that history of the Toronto Maple Leafs and the history of the original 6 franchises with the wins amongst them. And we mentioned that Conn Smythe, who was the architect of the New York Rangers when he bought the St. Pats and changed the name to the Maple Leafs and the team colors to blue and white. In 1927, the name Maple Leafs came from a World War I fighting unit, the Maple Leaf Regiment. And that's how they became the Leafs. So they went from St. Pat's, trying to draw on the Irish community, the Maple Leafs for Conn Smythe. You can beat him in the alley, right?
That's right.
In the middle, Tatar shooting, and Bernier holds on.
Tatar again with a good scoring chance. But there's not much time, boy, to get things away. He made a nice move on Robida, but he drilled it right into the chest of Bernier, who's been positionally perfect tonight. No score, and we're past the halfway point of the second period.
Well, Bernier needed to come up with a big game for himself. Of course, for his team, but he wants to gain that #1 position, get his game on track. This Leafs team last year gave up more shots than anyone else in the league. As a netminder, you face a lot of rubbish. Weiss went right back into traffic into Komarov. Weiss, though, able to come up with it again with some help there from Nesterson. Played ahead, Santorelli couldn't pick it up. two third lines here go head-to-head. Just out of the reach of Esterson. Icing here against Toronto. You can build your own Red Wings 10 or 20 game plan starting as low as $350 and enjoy savings off box office prices plus exclusive season ticket holder benefits. For more information, ticket executives are standing by right now at 314-717-7575. Zetterberg won that draw cleanly from Clarkson. Eriksson a shot. Phaneuf was pressured. Jonathan Eriksson moves in. David Clarkson couldn't get through. He got onside those. It's brought in by Santorelli. Stops, waits, then closed down. Kept with it though. Point to Riley. Saved by Gustafsson, and the important thing, no rebound.
Both teams are, when they get their chances on the transition game, are taking their best shot at it and creating some scoring chances. They're just onside, and then Detroit came back really well to blanket this part of the area and shut it all down until the shot from the point. Unfortunately, the big guy Gustafsson could see that shot and able to eat it up.
And like Jimmy Howard this year, he changed his mask this season. Different monsters on there. Loch Ness Monster, Frankenstein.
If they stop the puck, who cares, eh?
Yep. Stolen here, Glendening.
Oh.
Anderson. Drew Miller, Anderson a backhand. Glendening to Anderson. Wraparound try. He's got it again. To the line, back to Anderson. Oh, and just wide. Good feedback there by Kronwall. Drew Miller, checked by Morgan Riley. Roman Polak taken to the boards by Anderson. Then Miller, back to Anderson again. Red Wings win the battle. And a stop again on Glendening by Bernier.
Well, I think for Randy Carlyle, the pressure from this Detroit fourth line is like a broken record. Several shifts tonight. That's been the story, and Glendening finds himself all alone behind the Leaf defense after good pressure by the whole line. And can't get it behind Bernier. Oh my. He was reaching out, and you can't get much on it when you're reaching out like that. Wouldn't take much for this kid to start scoring some goals, I'll tell you.
Take a visit from you.
Well, you better get used to shooting it high.
Yeah, right. And then the next one low.
That's it. Get their attention.
You know what? At least he's getting chances. Last year he didn't.
That's right.
Komarov for Gardner. Clarkson tips in. Stefan Robida got across center and sends it into the Red Wing end. Quincy hits his man Winnick. Tatar delays. Lupul was on him. Tatar lifts one. It's under that big clock above center ice, which has 5:35 remaining in the second period. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you. As Lupul shoots one, save. Gustafsson rebound out the other side. Joffrey Lupul with it again. Back for Phaneuf, top of the circle on a rolling puck. Sent it through into a crowd. It's loose. Franzen the shot. Bodies flailing in front. Gustafsson. Nestrasil, second effort, got it to center ice. Back in by Phaneuf. Gustafsson left it back there. But Leafs got there first. Gustafsson just held his pad against the post. Fortunate he did. We'll return in a moment, looking for a first goal in this one.
We almost got it. And watch where this puck goes in super slow-mo. Lupul off the backboards, under the blocker, behind his rear end, almost hits his trapper and goes all the way to the far side. That's living right when that baby doesn't hit you in the rear end and go in. But Lupul is playing with some confidence tonight, Kent. He's really chomping at the bit.
5 times a 20-goal scorer. Bernier juggled it, but he'll hold on. And as he came over from Anaheim with Jake Gardiner for Francois Beauchemin. And Beauchemin just never caught on in Toronto. The deal made by Brian Burke, but boy, to get Lupul and Gardiner. And Beauchemin's been good for Anaheim, but it worked out very well.
This guy is a hair away from being called a power forward. He's a big, strong boy, likes to play it rough. He can score, but he hasn't put up big numbers.
And he thought for a while, like you know all about, his back issues, Mick, and a virus that he got, he thought his career could be over.
Remember that,
so
yeah.
He's come a long way to get back to play at the level that he is.
He plays with an edge most of the time, too, boy.
Got a penalty here. Cross-checking to the Maple Leafs.
Haven't had a power play for quite a while, and Van Riemsdyk.
Number 21.
Randy.
Cross-checking.
I'm not sure what he meant by that. Are you kidding me, or what's going on, or what? You know,
well, he was said last night his team took too many penalties, and they took 5. They're up to 4 now.
What did you break a stick? I mean, you could see the intent to cross-check, but I didn't see a cross-check.
I think he's maybe more mad at the ref. I'm not sure. He could be with you on that one.
Well, yes, he could.
So Daniel Winnick, now with his 5th team with Toronto, signed as a free agent. He'll take this draw against Henrik Zetterberg. Zetterberg tied him up, and the Red Wings get there first. As Tatar helped it back to the line. So Sheahan, Tatar, Zetterberg, Nyquist, Kronwall on the Bell Tire power play. Henrik Zetterberg. Kronwall down low, Nyquist, Tatar, the shot blocked in front. Off Zetterberg's skate. Tatar managed to find that puck and settle it down. He does that a lot. Henrik Zetterberg to Gus Nyquist. Looking for his 5th of the season. Kronwall, the shot, and Bernier with Sheahan right in front, holds on.
That's a nice job by Bernier not to give up a rebound there. Lots of traffic in front of him, and nothing off the stick of Kronwall for anybody to gobble up.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
You just look for traffic in front of the net is what you're looking for, so he can't see it, number one, but that wasn't the case, you see. Everybody's out to the side, and it's easy for him to just sponge it up.
Thomas Holmstrom wouldn't have let him see that.
No, he wouldn't. He'd block in his eyesight.
Henrik Zetterberg. Kronwall for Nyquist. Kronwall pumped once, gives it to Nyquist. Down low, backhanded, Sheahan, as he wants to do. They like to give him that puck in the forehand and then see if he can pull it back or make a pass with it.
He likes to get it on his backhand up to his forehand in the crease, but Dion Phaneuf had other ideas there. And Robidas, he knew he couldn't bring it to the front. There'd be no room, so he just tried to backhand it up over top of Bernier. A lot of times he tries to take that puck to the front like that and then forehand it up and over.
1:07 left in the Bell Tire power play, and Helm in the middle. Nestrasil, Abdelkader, Yurko, and De Kaiser. De Kaiser back there. So Thomas Yurko sets up, gives it for De Kaiser. Red Wings bring up ice with the man advantage. Helm flipped it back.
Yeah.
Went through to Helm again. Side of the goal, Nestrasil in front, and fanning on it was Yurko.
Wow.
Nestrasil to the line, De Kaiser. Back for Andre Nestrasil. Took the shot, and Bernier again saw it all the way. 21 seconds remaining in the penalty to number 21, Van Riemsdyk. Does Robidas and Nestrasil have some words? And Nestrasil's English is very good. He's a very well-spoken young man. He understands everything that's being said.
There's a look at your faceoffs. We were talking about that earlier. They just lost a big one. It cost them about 25 seconds of the power play. 9 of 14 last night for Glendenning. 13 of 20 for Zetterberg. You're what, 65% did you say, Ken? Overall?
59.
59%. That's pretty darn good. Anybody's got 55 or better is really, really good. A lot of times it depends where you win them and where you lose them, too.
That's true. Zetterberg. Kronwall. Nyquist to Zetterberg. Awkward position, really. Didn't get that shot away well and was able to block the outlet attempt as the penalty's over. Van Riemsdyk out of the box. Zetterberg got it through. Sheahan away from Franzen. Now the other way. As Phaneuf's got it. Feathered it up the near boards and sent down the ice. That goes off the stick of Eriksson, chased by Leo Komarov, who rides him hard into the boards. Kronwall able to move it to Tatar. Smoothly through. Look at him go. Tatar, he's right in and just lost control. From an acute angle, the pass then was picked off by Clarkson. Miller able to gather it back in for Glendenning. Kicked it ahead to his stick. Jonathan Eriksson. Point now to Brendan Smith. The shot, the save, and the rebound. Glendenning in too tight, couldn't find it. Back to get it is Anderson.
But neither team is giving the other very much room to do anything on second and third opportunities, boy.
Nazem Kadri knocked down by Brendan Smith. All alone, though, is Joachim Anderson. He'll give chase with Gardner. David Clarkson, Toronto native. He's so good with New Jersey. Playing on this third line, it's more Devils-type hockey than he may be used to. Better suited than the top two lines. Intercepted by Weiss. Weiss turns with it. Nobody open. Polak battling. Lupo came over. Brendan Smith couldn't knock it down. Quincy was there to knock it away. First round pick Riley ahead for Kessel off his stick. No icing. Gustafsson will scoop it along, but Van Riemsdyk able to take. Van Riemsdyk now in back of the goal, comes out front, puck is loose. Nestrasil, look at that patience from the rookie.
Young players just don't normally act like that.
Yeah. Nestrasil now across center and gets it in and goes for a change. Good play by the rookie Andre Nestrasil. Zetterberg. Turns up high. Got it toward the goal. That hit Quincy. To the corner goes Nyquist. 10 seconds to go in the period. Abdelkader back of the net. Away from Bozak. Pinching in goes to Kaiser. As 40 minutes are in the books. Shots are 25-21 Detroit. And no goals tonight despite all the shots. Or MGM Grand Detroit. Second intermission is back to original six physical hockey, just like they like it. And the contributions from the third and the fourth lines have been prevalent tonight. And Darren, Chris, and Mickey with more on that.
It's been an entertaining night for Leaf fans and Red Wing fans. No score in the game. And it's not from the lack of trying. This guy, Luke Glendenning, has had two scoring chances, one glorious chance. He's been his normal antagonistic self with the Leafs. Right here on Lupo, then draws the attention of Kessel and takes the penalty. Power play Detroit. Here he's smacking somebody in the back of the head, looked like Robidas. And there was that great chance that Bernier shut him down. Played only 11 minutes, Ken, but you think he'd been on the ice more than that.
And he's 6-2 on faceoffs. And remember, this kid was back and forth Detroit and Grand Rapids 5 times last season until he finally stuck on New Year's Eve day, December the 31st, and wound up playing 56 games. And Mike Babcock, as we all know, can't speak highly enough of him. And he only scored once. He's already got one this year and has had plenty of chances.
And the fourth line for Detroit, so-called fourth line, is going to start the period. They have been really good. Anderson on the left, Glendening at center, and Drew Miller, a left-hand shot on the right wing. Really good. And they've had Leafs pinned in quite a bit, and they're going up against the top Leafs line right here in a scoreless game. And I think first goal wins in this one.
Tipped by Phil Kessel. Back out at center, but the Leafs are way offside.
Well, no goals in this one, and both goaltenders, when they've had to be, have been very good. I'd say Bernier has had to be more spectacular than Gustafsson. However, early in this game, Jonas Gustafsson kept the game scoreless 2 or 3 times. He's been solid as a rock in his first start this year with Howard down with a bit of a groin problem.
Kaiser tapped at the center and a break here for Zetterberg. Santorelli got in his way. Nyquist able to take it. Zetterberg's got it. He's pushed to the end boards by Santorelli, so the third line here for Randy Carlyle out against the Red Wings top unit. Abdelkader. Franzen ties up Zetterberg. Nyquist to pick it up. Just life enough.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Nyquist able to recover.
Wow. Did they ever dodge a bullet there?
Nyquist then went for the pass that didn't work.
Wow.
And then the Leafs again go offside.
Wow. I mean, this was unbelievable. And he knows it, too. You see his drop his head there? Go, oh, my God, I shouldn't have done this. He held it too long, got confused. He got boxed out by 2 Leafs right there, and they are gone. Good 3 on the goalie if he doesn't make that little check right there. Good recovery. Gus Nyquist. He's looking, they're going to, oh boy, am I happy I dodged a bullet there.
This will be icing as Kindle struggled with that puck at center, and then Tatar couldn't get a hold of it to negate the play down ice. Stay tuned to Red Wings Live following the game, where we will select Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. New triple cheeseburger for only $2. And in Canada, well, that would be a toonie.
I don't know about that.
Or 2 loonies. No, probably forfeit.
How about two toonies?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Have you seen their price of gas?
Yeah.
They're about $5 our gallon.
Yeah. Well.
Gardner. Yurko made the play on Gardner, gives it ahead to Tatar in soccer style, kicked it ahead, and Robitaille able to cut him off with the pass. He got in his path right there. Robitaille reversed that to Gardner. Weiss, Helm, and Nestrasil out for Detroit. Stefan Robitaille to Van Riemsdyk. Out with Bozak and Kessel. So now it's the Leafs top line against the Red Wings third unit. Both slashed at by Kronwall was Kessel, the late penalty.
On the hand. On the hand.
55 Detroit, 2 minutes slashing.
No question about that. Man-to-man coverage in your own zone. He never got him on the hands. Now, I'll have to see this one again. He might have got him in the fingers of the right hand, but he looks like from that replay, caught him in the middle of the stick between the hands. But Kessel took that, and the minute he took that hand off of there, the referee doesn't see it. He thinks it's there. He's going to call that.
Glendening. He's telling Andre to move. The line's going to get him to move. Glendening's got it. Another face-off win for him. 7-2 tonight in the circle.
Now, what did that puck hit that it's coming back inside? Glendening wins the draw. Here's a look at that. I don't know if he caught him or not, but Kessel knows he's a smart guy. You know, maybe he could sell ice cubes to Eskimos. Oh my God, on that play! What the heck? Try it. Someday down the road, they're laughing about it. Maybe that could be called embellishment.
Well, the league looks at all that because
like diving,
that's exactly right. The names will be posted for diving and fines will ensue. So the league looks at every play. Players will be notified. Riley can't get over. Glendening will go chase with Gardner.
Two good skaters.
Glendening got there. Makes the play to the middle. Abdelkader sent it high. Glendening will go off on a change. Anderson comes on for him. 1:20 remaining in the Kronwall penalty. The Leafs' fourth power play of the game. Gustafsson fought it off. Loose in back of the goal. Lupel tries to center. Smith knocked him down.
Ericsson's been a real physical force tonight in this game.
And then Riley couldn't keep it in.
That's doing his job, big guy.
And again, cleared down, this time by Miller. Dion Phaneuf, 31 points last season. Phaneuf brings it in, takes a shot. Gustafsson stopped it, had to be careful off the backboards. And able to find it and get a face-off. So much talk in Toronto for Dion Phaneuf, whether when they're 5-on-5, whether he plays the left side or the right side. Thinking he moves the puck better from the left, but he prefers the right, which would be his wrong side. Gustafsson had to be careful there off the Phaneuf chance. They're the best penalty-killing teams in the National Hockey League as of this juncture.
How are the Jets only won one game and they're 18 for 18 on their penalty kill? I guess that would lead you to 5-on-5. They're not very good.
Struggling on power play. Drew Miller. One-on-one with Cody Franson. Phaneuf grabs the loose puck. 20 seconds left in Kronwall's penalty. Tyler Bozak moved it. Van Riemsdyk back for him. Bouncing puck. Kessel. Got slowed down by Eriksson. Bozak to the line. Franson back. Kessel. Bozak. Tip wide. Out of the box comes Kronwall. Bozak put the body in Anderson.
There'll be a timeout.
Yep.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Toronto ignored it.
And went to the bench on a change. It would have been icing.
Wow.
But a very alert Kronwall got down the ice when he saw Franson going to the bench for Toronto. So no icing. Maybe saved the timeout for Detroit.
Yeah.
Both teams with 4 power play tries tonight. And as you look at the scoreboard, you realize no one scored. Tipped at center. Leafs have to tag up. Brendan Smith. This side for Darren Helm. Rink wide feed. Zetterberg took a strange bounce on him. Robidas back to get him. Roman Polak. Smith got the angle on him. Grabbed by Santorelli. Checked by Kronwall. On to Helm. Some speed for the wings here. Up with Riley Sheahan. Well, Helm zagged, and Sheahan didn't.
Well, you can tell the intensity in this hockey game and what it means to these teams early in the season after Toronto losing last night. I mean, there's people chirping all over the ice. And here's a look at this play. See, the Leafs are calling, and he's going. I don't know what he's thinking, Franson, really. And here's Kronwall, who's going for a change also. He sees this guy and says, you know what? I'll go down here and nullify this thing, get to the imaginary line right there. That's all it takes. And that did save the Red Wings a timeout for sure. Good penalty kill again. And they were tired.
And so far, as we look at that, the hybrid icing is now in the second year has worked pretty well.
Well, that would have been called.
Right.
And
And Franzen gone back, but I'm just...
Right, I know.
But it's done pretty well. It's offside.
I like it where it's half and half. It's still some challenge in there, but it's not that automatic icing right there would have cost the Red Wings a timeout.
That's right. As we're saying hybrid, where the
Right.
player has to at least get to the imaginary or the hash marks to get there. That's right. If we're just automatic icing, that would have been called.
You know, this things will happen so fast in this game with this speed. Sometimes you go, what was Franzen thinking? But you know what? Just a momentary lapse. Ooh, nice little butt end.
Spear there on Shane from Phaneuf.
Momentary lapse when you're tired. You don't think right. And boy, it can cost you in this game. I don't think Phaneuf butt ended him, did he? The move was a butt end move. Geez, he might have. You know that? The only one thing that's worse than that is if you slide that right hand for Phaneuf down the stick and you expose about 4 or 5 inches of your knob of the stick into your kidneys and stomach. That could be really dangerous.
Draw one by the Red Wings. Point shot. And Bernier able to see it. Jonathan Ericsson, who struggled a few games ago, and that brought about the change in the defense pairings. But like Babcock said last game, he was playing better, so he went back with the tradition. With Conwall with Ericsson, right off the draw, a chance. Here's Miller. Pulled it back, didn't shoot it. And here comes Kessel. Morgan Riley, the defenseman, followed up. Bozak's got it. Tyler Bozak for Riley. Sent it toward the goal, and Gustafsson able to get a glove out there and hold on.
Somehow. With that, still no score. We'll be back in a moment. 13:57 to go. Young players learn quickly in this league, or they're not here very long. And number 49 for the Red Wings tonight, boy, he has really shown some experience that he doesn't have in protecting the puck. We know he's been good at that. Boy, he makes really good decisions for an inexperienced player. Very responsible in the defensive zone. Blocks the shot by Franzen there. Boy, oh boy. It's rare to see a young player that has not played in the league that responsible in his own end of the ice. And we know he's got good hands.
Red Wings got him with a third-round pick. They gave up their first-round pick to Tampa for the 32nd and 75th, and that's how they got Landon Ferraro and then Nestrasil in that draft. Tampa took Carter Ashton, who's a scratch tonight for Toronto. Tatar goes in on the forecheck. Knocked down Gardner. Yurko moved up. Shane coming over in defensive posture to get there first. The crowd
With the ref
in their little battle now too. Richard Panik as they double shift Kessel here, as Kessel is out with Panik and Peter Holland, the fourth line, to try to give them some offense here, looking for a goal. Tatar went across. Oh, nearly too many men as Clarkson carries in.
Yeah, they got him.
They
got him. The referee put the linesman put his left arm up, but didn't make a call. And Clarkson dove to get over the boards, and the guy coming on picked up the puck.
Committee man on the ice.
Boy, oh boy. We've seen a lot worse not get called, I'll tell you. You be the judge yourself here. Watch the Toronto bench. Detroit's changing. Here comes Clarkson right there. The guy coming on is right there.
He's not off.
When does he touch it?
Right there. He's not off.
I mean, wow.
Well, he wouldn't have been in position to get it. He did not come early, so.
Right. Here's a better look at it here. Oh my God. Clarkson coming on rather not going off, but holy smoke.
Well, a big test here for the Red Wing Bell Tire power play. The Leafs, since the start of last season against Detroit, have killed off 21 consecutive power plays. Broken stick for Phaneuf.
Oh, Red Wings.
Point shot, Bernier, Nyquist, no, and he just sent it wide. He got it over a diving Pollock, but couldn't hit the net. Zetterberg got hit hard
Hammered.
by Komarov. is okay, though. Zetterberg staying out. That's Winnick. Hooked a little bit. Zetterberg, and they're going to call it. The Toronto fans happy about that.
I guess.
The Red Wing captain will go to the box.
Well,
Detroit. 2 minutes.
Nyquist had the puck bobble on him with a wide open net. Watch this thing. She's rolling. He goes for it, and because it's on edge, it didn't go where he wanted it to go. He missed the net by a mile. And then Zetterberg got absolutely hammered by Komarov, who likes to hit people. And you could see the look on his face that hurt. And you know what? He got his lower back too. Boy, oh boy.
Zetterberg has said his back is feeling terrific. There was the hook on Winnick.
It wouldn't be after that hit, I'll tell you. Gee, not much question about the hook.
So we're 4-on-4 right now. Red Wings have won 38 of 50 faceoffs. Or 60 faceoffs, rather, and won another one. They're 39th of 61. Quincy took a shot, was knocked down. Lupul couldn't pick it up. Gustafsson will tee it up there for Quincy. Riley got over to keep it in. Kindle protected the puck. Shoveled one in behind to Quincy. Nyquist. He'll head up ice with Abdelkader. Giving him the puck. Here comes Kindle. He turns back. Nyquist chases.
4-on-4. I wonder if you're going to bring Helm out here. That speed.
Kronwall held in. Tatar. Eriksson. The shot. Tatar. Reverses back of the net. Nyquist. Swept it around to Eriksson. Back for Gus Nyquist. Away from Gardner. Kronwall to the front of the net and just sent it wide. Kronwall. Gardner knocks it down. Nyquist. He made the play in the steal for Tatar. Back to the line. Eriksson the shot. Wide of the goal. Kronwall. Nyquist. Now the Red Wings are shorthanded, but they have the puck. Kronwall to the goal. And a save by Bernier. Tatar, great way to hold on to that puck.
Holy jumper.
And Bernier wants a face-off. They're not going to give him one, but he's killing off some clock here. 15 left in the Zetterberg penalty. Leaf power play here. James Van Riemsdyk. For Bozak.
Kessel.
Kessel's got it. Pressured immediately. Out of the box is Zetterberg. Miller's got him. Oh, and just hopped over his stick. Zetterberg with it again. And took it away from Kessel. Approaching the halfway point in the third. Abdelkader.
Oh boy.
Icing against Detroit.
Boy, Bernier is going to get a star no matter what happens here tonight. Here was Kronwall. What a great chance. As Tatar went to the net and Gardner took him up. And that left Kronwall alone to walk in. He went to the backhand. It didn't quite get it up high enough. And the pass to Zetterberg not quite where it needed to be because there was just too much traffic in the way. So, boy, what a free-for-all this game has been. It's been very entertaining for both sets of fans, boy.
Another face-off won by Detroit. By Zetterberg. Helm. Nicely done to keep control. Helm, Zetterberg, and Abdelkader. Right through the middle. And up ice for Robidoux. Showing that veteran poise right there. Zetterberg got a little payback on a good hit there. Santorelli. Clarkson. Kindle careful not to hold. David Clarkson to Pollock. That shot was blocked. Pollock's been the big hitter tonight with 7 of them. Abdelkader didn't get the puck out. Then tied up Clarkson. Leaf fans want a penalty. Komarov shot off to the side of Riley.
A lot of stuff going on here, boy.
Big collision there as Helm was belted by Komarov. Polak gives Komarov the puck in a return play to Morgan Riley. Sent to the goal. Coming in is Polak is Clarkson. Oh, great coverage.
Wow.
Helm on Polak.
Oh, boy. This crowd, at every scoring chance at either end, is out of their seats, and Darren Helm just saved the day. Look at this. And doesn't take a penalty. Whoa, baby, far too close. We'll be back. 8:49 to go. Thomas Tatar has 6 shots on goal after 40 minutes of play. He's been all around the Toronto net. Bernier has been his equal tonight, though, so far. And boy, he is so elusive. He's got tricks in that bag of his, but he's got no luck around the net so far. In the early season, he does have himself a couple of goals, but boy, oh boy, he's been really good. Make that one coming in tonight.
Now Luke Glendening lost that face-off, so he's now 12-3 on the draw tonight, though. He's been terrific, Glendening. And Anderson, his wingman, is 6-0 on the draw. Saved by Gustafsson. Back to the line, Phaneuf. For Kessel. Van Riemsdyk. Back for Phaneuf. Anderson's got it on the left wing boards and dumped one back down ice, and a race for it goes Miller. Cody Franzen turning. The BC native sets up.
This game, 2 games in less than 24 hours, these line changes now become really critical for both teams. Fatigue will be a factor in the winning goal, probably.
This is where the Red Wings use their 4th line, and Randy Carlyle does not very much. His faith in the skill that you've got to be able to use. Shot is blocked. Shea and Yurko and Tatar for Detroit now. Smith and Kindle on the back end. Tatar in a perfect spot. And Tatar again was across the line, didn't go straight forward. He put Yurko offside. Mad at himself. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, we'll have highlights from all the best action in the NHL and NBA. We've got you covered on Saturday's showdown between number 5 Notre Dame and number 2 Florida State. And how will some major upsets in the Big 12 shake down? The college football playoff. Watch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
7:29 to go in this exciting hockey game, and it's been a good one.
10 power plays between the two teams. 5 apiece. 29-26 are the shots. 29-25 for Detroit. Zetterberg out there leading all Detroit forwards in ice time, just under 16 minutes, and we'll approach that now. Here comes Nyquist, swept away though by Gardner. Kessel has played a few more minutes than Zetterberg. Abdelkader, saved by Bernier!
Wow.
Who is best of the night? Keeps Detroit off the board, and the Toronto fans at the Joe rise to salute their netminder.
Boy, oh boy, I guess they should. The Leafs have a breakdown in front of him and 2 guys. Watch Zetterberg. He gives way to Abdelkader, and the goaltender sliding to his right and gets it with his trapper as that baby's heading for the far side. Boom, man.
Boy, it'll be a rare Sunday in Toronto without a goaltender controversy. Van Riemsdyk tried to draw a penalty on Toronto. Miller. In goes Joachim Anderson with Riley. Up goes Glendening.
Out to full Leaf.
Kessel streaking up the right wing. Can't get past Kronwall. Anderson takes that puck. Really worked on his skating, and it's showing. Sees a change and sends it deep.
These guys they're not lasting more than 25 seconds on these shifts. I mean, it's all out right from the drop of the puck.
How could you last any more of the way these two have gone back-to-back nights? First back-to-back game since 2001 between these two. And the first time in consecutive nights since 1997. Loose back of the goal. Santorelli. Scored the lone leaf goal last night. Put it back to the line for Phaneuf. Crowd in front. Gustafsson knocked it to the corner. Listen to this crowd. Gustafsson trying to find it. Sheahan to help. Got it ahead, but not out. Jurko ran into Phaneuf. Just bouncing wide of the net. They say high stick, but no Detroit touched. So that negated that.
Nobody knew it. Too much going on, too much noise. Listen to this building. Let's go Red Wings. Go Leafs, go.
Offside, Toronto.
Oh, is this any good? Saturday night at the Joe. Wow. They're going at it. The fans and the team, no score with 5 minutes straight up to go. Oh boy, oh boy. Lots of noise here. 5 minutes on the clock, and this is going to be our big boy play of the game. It came in the first period late. Santorelli, cold turkey with Gustafsson, and he stoned him with the left pad. Nice move there. Cronwall chased him down, but tough to get it up on your forehand, and Gustafsson has been AAA in his first start of the year.
Zetterberg, Nyquist, and Abdelkader, Eriksson and Cronwall. Abdelkader tipped it in, but it went off the netting, so face-off will come back to center ice area. And a reminder not to miss the action. We just heard about the Pittsburgh Penguins winning again. They'll be here next Thursday, October 23rd. It's Hockey Fights Cancer Night. They'll help donate to a great cause. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com. The Penguins and Red Wings next Thursday, October 23rd.
Jack McRoberts, one of ours here, had some surgery. I want to say hi to Jack. He's watching the game. Enjoy.
Sure.
As you have already, Jack, and get back soon. Works here. The off-ice officials at the Joe. And to all those tomorrow who are running in that free press marathon, good luck to you.
Yes.
7 a.m. they're at it.
And then he coming across the border, Windsor and Southern Ontario to do that. There's also the Toronto Marathon going on tomorrow, too. Whoa, Zetterberg stepped on that puck. Here's Abdelkader. Zetterberg goes after it into the corner. Kadri around the loop.
Whoa!
Stolen, Nyquist. Zetterberg. Oh, and Nyquist might have shot it. And Zetterberg just off the heel of his stick as he was covered. Now the other way, Gustafsson scooping that and will hold on. And Zetterberg's probably thinking, Gus, you're so hot, just shoot it.
You know what, though? They were two again behind the Leaf defense. And I don't know if Morgan Rielly got a piece of this or not. The puck was bouncing. Gustav Nyquist was off to the left of the goaltender, and he spotted number 40. Look at this turnover right here. Abdelkader, big hit. And there you are. He's at a bad angle. He figures Zetterberg's going to be better. And see Morgan right there. Morgan Rielly, rather. Got it backwards. Made a nice defensive play on the stick of Zetterberg to nullify the scoring chance. Holy smoke. What a big hit by Abdelkader to force that turnover.
Another Glendening face-off win right there. 14-3 tonight on the draw for number 41. Here he goes after it. And to think he was a winger at Michigan and through his career, boy, has he improved on face-offs. Hindle down to get it. Clarkson back of the net. Coverage by Brendan Smith. Less than 3.5 to go in the third. Nail-biting time now. Red Wings won 4-1 at the Air Canada Centre last night. As the Red Wings improved to 2-1-1 in the season, the Leafs are 2-3. Kindle.
Right where you wanted it to come loose because there were two Red Wing guys there.
Miller stayed with it. Red Wings are changing as Miller shoots high and off the glass.
Everybody else is going for a change. They're beat up. They got to get off the ice.
Miller will go that way too. As Sheahan's out with Tatar and Nestrasil, who picks up Yurko's spot on this line now. That shows you the confidence that Mike Babcock has in number 49. Here comes Van Riemsdyk. Kessel offside. Yes, it was.
Oh, boy, was that close.
It was. He got that extra step, and that back leg was not on the blue line.
I was going to say,
it was
Kenny,
up in the air and over.
He must have just picked that back leg up because that looked pretty good onside to me. There's the left leg, see? Once that left leg comes up, his right foot is over the line, and the puck is not over yet. That's why it's offside. Holy mackerel, that was close. And he had the outside to beat the defenseman.
And the puck has to be across the line,
right,
not on the line. It has to be in the zone before the player is, the other player. Bozak and Zetterberg. Bozak won it back to Robidoux. Gardner knocked off stride by Nyquist. Abdelkader, a lift of the stick on Kessel allowed the puck to come back to neutral ice. Jake Gardner had trouble with it. Kessel moved it offside as Van Riemsdyk.
Join us again Tuesday night when the Red Wings travel to Le Canadien de Montréal in Montreal, Quebec to take on the Canadiens. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Red Wings Live. Red Wings Canadiens Tuesday, 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit.
Montreal is a very, very good hockey team. They're much deeper now, and Galchenyuk rounding into form. Domination by Detroit in the face-off department tonight, as they did last night. What they did not do in the loss here to Boston.
Well, Toronto's been a different team tonight than they were last night.
Very true.
Both goaltenders, I'm saying at this point, are stars in the game. And maybe the winning goal is a star as well.
Red Wings took 3 of the 4 meetings from Toronto last season. The only Leaf win was outdoors at the Big House in the shootout. Sheahan to Nestrasil to the line but not out. Held in by Riley. Gustafsson never saw it but went high. Clarkson bounces around. Whoa! Tatar didn't want to go that way with it. Santorelli to David Clarkson. Red Wings trying to get sorted out. Clarkson coughed it up. Nestrasil ahead for Sheahan. Couldn't get through. Nor could Nestrasil.
This again, there's a fatigue factor right there coming into play.
Red Wings get a change. Zetterberg back out. Trying to deflect one past Tyler Bozak with Van Riemsdyk and Kessel. Nyquist and Abdelkader join Zetterberg.
Out here.
Phaneuf off the backboards to Kaiser. On defense with Eriksson. Nyquist protects the puck. Rink wide too far for Abdelkader. Oh! Back in comes Van Riemsdyk. Less than a minute to go in the third period of a goalless game. Bozak back of the net. Mirrored there by Zetterberg. Collision in front, bodies down. Cranston shot off the backboards. Kronwall finds it. Bozak's got it. He hit Abdelkader with it. Nyquist just got it to center ice. Phaneuf backed up, forced back by Zetterberg. Captain on captain. Cody Cranston lost it. Zetterberg's got it. Turning and just missing Glendening. He gets taken to the boards by Kadri. Drew Miller. Bumped by Phaneuf. 15 to go in the third. Cranston tries to clear. Zetterberg again makes the play. Loose puck. Brendan Smith moved up. Toronto sends it down ice. Kindle's got it. And we are going to overtime.
Oh, boy. I guess it's fitting that both teams should get a point. They gave their all here tonight. Back-to-back, 2 games in less than 24 hours. I mean, that's an incredible effort by both these hockey clubs. And boy, I'll tell you what, the 2 guys with all the equipment on, I don't know who's picking the stars tonight, but they're stars in my book.
Well, both these teams have gone to extra time before. The Red Wings lost in a shootout to Boston. Toronto won in overtime very quickly the other night on a Phil Kessel goal. They're going to do a dry scrape of the ice. 5 minutes on the clock. They work here quickly in Detroit. We'll be back in a moment.
Guys, thanks very much. There you see what's happened after 60 minutes. Shots pretty equal. Power plays dead even. Penalty minutes dead even. Face-offs, big advantage. Detroit hits a little bit favor Toronto and no goals. Scoring chances 15 to 12. That is a firebrand, as Ozzy said, kind of game. Up and down, goaltenders are in play all the time. And here we go, 4-on-4.
So again, the teams have switched ends like they would have in the second period, so a longer change to get off. NHL thinking that may lead to more offense. Not as many games have been decided in overtime that perhaps they would have hoped thus far, but we'll see here. Shots 30 to 29 for Detroit after 60 minutes. Eriksson takes the shot that Bernier will hold on to. Henrik Zetterberg starts the overtime along with Gus Nyquist. Zetterberg led all Red Wing forwards in ice time with 20 minutes.
Those face-offs, Detroit's been good all night, especially in overtime when you're 4-on-4 or 3-on-3. This is where face-offs really become critical because puck possession is 90% of the law.
And Zetterberg won that one as Nyquist gets it back to the line. Kronwall put it in behind. Enough force there by Zetterberg, who came up with the puck. Zetterberg turns with it. He's got Eriksson, who comes in with it. Eriksson to Nyquist. Oh, and a block by Cody Franzen. Zetterberg has to be careful here. He had Kessel right on him. The pass for Zetterberg too far, but back to recover is Quincy.
40-second shift.
De Kaiser joining Quincy, has the puck. With Shane and Tatar. Tatar shooting at goal post. Rebound! Shane over top. Oh, Tatar came an iron away from ending the game. That would have been his 7th shot on goal of this game. It doesn't count as a shot, though, but he's got 6. Tatar. Look at that little buzzsaw. Went back to the line, knocked down though by Lupo. Tatar hustling back. Here's Kadri.
Really?
He went down. Riley follows up. Holding the post is Gustafsson. Careful not to let it come into the blue.
Oh boy. Thomas Tatar tried to use the defenseman. He didn't try. He did use the defenseman as a screen. Tried to put that puck right past his leg like that. He had Bernier clean beaten and clanked it off dead straight off the post from that angle. Straight out in front. Wow.
As of this moment in the National Hockey League, this is the 19th game this season that has gone to overtime. 8 so far have gone to a shootout. If we get there, it would be the 9th of 19 to a shootout if we get there. Another draw won by Detroit by Joachim Andersson, who has been outstanding tonight. Remember, Anderson's played a lot of wing, but was a natural center.
Brendan Smith is pinching.
And like getting in there with them.
Be dangerous 4-on-4, boy.
Anderson's backing him up, though. Santorelli lifts the puck down. Clarkson trying to get through. Oh, good play, Anderson on Santorelli. Jakob Kindl for Anderson. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Anderson got it in behind Bernier. Gardner. Move that puck ahead. Here comes Clarkson. Can't split the Red Wing defense. Abdelkader. Moves it ahead to Helm. Phaneuf's back. Abdelkader going to the goal. Phaneuf able to knock it down. Helm without a stick goes to the bench. They get a change. Zetterberg comes on. Phaneuf the shot. And a save by Gustafsson. Zetterberg wants the puck. He'll now chase it down. Zetterberg into the corner. Franzen on him. Zetterberg stops back of the goal. Tries to get position. Franzen, good job not to let him have it. 2:15 left in overtime. Van Riemsdyk with Holland. Van Riemsdyk to the line to Phaneuf. Didn't hold the line though. Offside. They could call it intentional. Are they going to?
Should,
Yes, they should,
but they're not.
but they're not.
Why would that be? There's no question about
He knew.
There's no gray area.
He knew what he was doing. He wanted the face off. Just offside, though. It does not come all the way down the ice.
Well, Dion Phaneuf, who's had a better game tonight, plus a lot of his teammates, tried to squeak one through the far side, and his goaltenders have been really active with their pads tonight, boy. Red Wings with all 3 face-off wins tonight in overtime here.
That was the first loss right there.
With that non-call there on an automatic offside, could be a big call, or non-call, if you will.
Puck kept in at the line, but Sheahan slapped that by Kessel. Gathering speed to center. Sheahan to the middle. Still has it. Picked up here by Tatar. Trying to find a lane to the goal. Bozak stays with him. Good job by Tyler Bozak on Thomas Tatar.
He's dead. He's got to get off. And you better hurry, too.
3 Red Wings in the midst of a change as Morgan Riley gets to center and fires in, rims around. To Kaiser to Kindle. Ahead for Helm. Back to Jakob Kindle. Into Leaf territory. Brendan Smith. Checked. Staying away from Cadman. Back for Kindle. Under a minute to go in overtime. Lead pass to Helm. Checked by Phaneuf, who knocked it away from Helm, who then bumped into Luca. Now Abdelkader's got it. Brendan Smith. On defense with Eriksson. 40 seconds left in overtime. What a feed to Nyquist. Nyquist shooting, and that was blocked by Phaneuf up into the netting. That hurt him. And out of play.
Holy mackerel. There's been just one moment after another in this game that both teams have had to end the game. This puck hit Phaneuf in the foot. It went up into the netting. Oh, boy. But every shot, this crowd has been into this game like we haven't seen in a long time. Like a playoff game. But I guess that's what happens when you get the Maple Leaf and the Red Wing together. Pavel Datsyuk watching this game and going, boy, do I wish I was there.
He's not alone in that thought.
Yeah, right.
Here comes Kessel. Less than a half minute to go in overtime. Kessel's shot blocked. He was the hero for the Leafs in their overtime win against the Colorado Avalanche at the Air Canada Centre. That was back on Tuesday. Randy Carlyle's team at 2-3. With a face-off, Glendening will come out to join Zetterberg in case he were to get tossed out and defensively take the draw. Zetterberg and Bozak, 2 number 1 centers. Zetterberg got that draw, and Eriksson helped it back to Kronwall.
That's one of those split draws that your teammates have to help you.
Jonathan Eriksson got it to Kronwall. Nyquist back on. Finds Zetterberg shooting. Oh! Scores! The captain wins it with 10 seconds left in overtime.
Oh, baby.
What a night!
You don't think that you got some happy campers? Oh, my God. What a night this has been. What a hockey game. What an entertaining night for the NHL to have these 2 teams put on a show like this. Oh, baby.
Remember how disheartened he was after that game against Boston, but he called the worst of his career, and the last 2 games could not have been any better.
Well, this is about as long a one-timer as you're going to see in the game of hockey. And Bernier got a piece of it. Zetterberg bombed it immediately as it hit his stick. And look at the Red Wings now at center ice. Look at Z. Way to go, boy. What a leader he is. 5 points in 2 games on 5 Red Wing goals. Wow. Holy moly. Wow. Miller moment, no question about it. Pop a top and go for it, gang. It's another face-off win. The Red Wings dominated the face-offs in overtime. It was Kronwall, Zetterberg, Eriksson, over to Kronwall. And one time, boom! And this baby went off the goaltender's stick. I think the short side goalpost and into the far side of the net. Oh yeah, right off the post. Unbelievable. What a dramatic finish for the Detroit Red Wings here tonight. He got every bit of it. It went over his own pad, and he went, oh no! He had a great night. But the Red Wings scalped 4 points from the Leafs this weekend, and boy, was it fun to watch from this chair.
Isn't that something, the way that the Red Wings took 2 from Toronto late last season in the midst of the Leafs slide? That helped put Detroit into the playoffs.
Wow.
And Toronto out. Early on in the month of October, points are big too. And they get, as you say,
boy,
huge points. Although the Leafs get 1 tonight, but huge points against the Maple Leafs.
It now represents 7 out of 10 points in your first 5 games. And this month of October, we know was going to be a tough one. They're halfway through. And the 3 Stars, I think you got to know who they are.
Star number 2 from Toronto, goaltender number 45, Jonathan Bernier.
Well, for sure,
And star
Bernier.
number 1 from Detroit,
And
the
number 1, as you
goaltender
might have
number 50,
expected, with a
Jonas
shutout.
Gustafsson.
Jonas Gustafsson. I mean, Glendening had a good night. I don't know how you don't pick Zetterberg as the winning goal. But
hear
God
you.
bless Luke. He had a good night.
And he must have played by the end 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and Zetterberg now with 15 points in 11 career games against the Maple Leafs. That one was perhaps the biggest. A 1-0 win, 4:50 the time of the overtime goal.